In this video, we will discover the dark side of the Thomas Empire, a place where the little blue engine is often represented by low quality and non-licensed toys. The companies producing these toys are breaking the law. My curiosity of these toys is purely a sideline to my massive Thomas collection. I can assure you every fake Thomas I own has substantial flaws. In no way can I endorse these non-licensed toys. Let's kick off with the Thomas, which was purchased in Vietnam, costing 145,000 Vietnamese dong, and that converts to $7 US. With all these fake Thomases, I will show you a standard wooden Thomas so we can get a scale of how big or small these are. I often find the packaging, artwork and wording to be the fun part in collecting this fake Thomas stuff, and this box does not let me down. It must have us all wondering what gusto Choo Choo is. Like lots of the fake stuff that I've had, often the packaging seems to have more effort put into it than what's inside. And I'm always wary when I read something like this. Eye, mouth, be able to fluctuating. And we've got a bonus bump and go action chart. Once he's powered up, it's a very noisy toy and has one of those sound chips often found in low quality toys.
Stare into my eyes and I will own you.
Or watch my flashing lights for hours on end. This Thomas is more like a noisy disco than a children's toy. The side wheels on this model used to move, but they all broke off and now they're glued on tight. After a very short time of watching and listening to this toy, I assure you it will send you mad. Next up is a very cheap and nasty Thomas that I found at my local computer store for $10. It's a Dynamo electric train. I can assure you now, this amazing title is far more impressive than what lies inside this box. The artwork and wording found on the box is by far the core entertainment here, and if you need a bit of a laugh, pause here to read the notice and battery use details. Now this picture is curious as it reminds me of the Transformers video getting about, which are very, very popular. Do you agree with me? This is possibly one of the saddest looking Thomas models that I have. For anyone who really loves Thomas, looking at this model must have you asking some questions and seriously wondering why this happens. It truly is an illustration of how desperate some people are to jump onto something which is very popular. Once unleashed from its box, this very simple set starts to display to you just how bad all this looks. I can only assume this toy has been generated from an existing non-Thomas toy. The track system can be found on many other low quality train sets. Next up is a set which some of you may think you saw in my Thomas vs Thomas video, but don't be fooled by the similar boxing. What lies inside is a very different Thomas. The best way I can describe this is it's a very poor version of a Trackmaster Thomas. And here's the size relationship to the wooden Thomas, and I'll also show you the size relationship to a Trackmaster Thomas. This Thomas is definitely the poor cousin. Powered by a single AA battery, on close inspection you can see just how low the quality of this toy is. Overall, it's a very strange looking model. The cab seems too long, and there's something strange about this face. For some reason, it's reminding me of another Thomas character, and I think it's Victor. There's also Annie and Clarabelle, or should I say two very ugly sisters of Annie and Clarabelle. And in a strange twist of fate, both carriages are named the same, and it's Convey. I bet if I subjected this toy to a drop test, it would smash into pieces. It really has a cheap feel to it. Here it is up and running, and curiously it uses the same track as I saw in the Dynamo electric faker. And as a bonus, we get a single tree. This set only cost me $10, and if you remember, the set that I used in Thomas vs. Thomas cost me $20. It'd be very interesting to track the sale of these sets and find out who's making the money in this process. I guarantee to you, the people putting these sets together in the factories will be getting paid peanuts. Our final faker is a very interesting set indeed. It's a copy of the Lego Duplo Thomas train set. Now, people in the Lego world know that there's a lot of copy Lego getting about. Some of it is very low quality, some of it is surprisingly good quality. I'll have to admit the quality that I see in this set is amazing, considering I only paid $25 for this in a shop. There's not one word of English on the box. And in this train set comes two themes. Just like Lego Duplo, you can transform this train easily into different forms of play. This is a surprisingly large train set. First time I've seen anything like it. It'd be a perfect scale to have running underneath your Christmas tree. And as a question to my audience, has anybody else seen this knockoff Duplo train sets? Well, I hope you've enjoyed this little peek into the very dark side of the Thomas Empire. And I can assure you, no matter how good some of this stuff may look, in the end, its quality is far lacking compared to the licensed products. If you do get caught up with this fake stuff, the only person that you're cheating in the end is yourself. And thanks for watching.